What up, YouTube? I'm back with you guys to give you guys a video. And this video, I'm going to talk about the Jessica Jones Season 2 review. And so, for all those who haven't seen Jessica Jones Season 2, I want you to go back, watch the TV show, and then after that, come back and you can listen to what I think about Jessica Jones Season 2. Now, what I will say about Jessica Jones Season 2 is that I honestly don't think it was as good as. Excuse me. I honestly don't think it was as good as Season 1. Season 1 had a little more flair to it. It had a little bit more about her post-traumatic stress and Kilgrave and how Kilgrave was controlling her, and he pretty much could have controlled the entire city of Manhattan or New York City. So that was one of the things that separates this one. This one was a little more, I want to say, emotional, as far as the fact that the main bad guy was actually her mother when she found out that her mother was alive. It was also a coming out story, in a sense, for Trish Walker. Because if you guys remember, Trish Walker is the sidekick. I mean, not sidekick. I shouldn't say sidekick. Wrong choice of words. I should say it's like her sister slash best friend who's always riding for Jessica. But this is her coming out because of the simple fact is we learned that she is incredibly envious of the fact that Jessica actually has powers, and she felt like Jessica Jones didn't deserve those powers and she could be using her powers to help people. But as we all know, Jessica is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from what Kilgrave did to her, and all the stuff that Kilgrave forced her to do against her will is essentially a mind rape thing that they're implying. But all in all, I will say that season 2 was cool. It was alright. It had its ups and downs. But the one thing that I would say that I liked about season 2 the most is what I just explained about Trish Walker's coming out. I also like Malcolm and his character development of how he was, I would say the sidekick, or not sidekick. Why I keep saying that word? Not sidekick, but he was the right hand, the grunt to Jessica Jones. So essentially, Jessica Jones will hire him, then fire him, then hire him and fire him. She constantly will fire him. When she got mad at him, he was fired. And he was the only person throughout the whole season that actually was doing legitimate work. Jessica would get drunk, she would have sex with whoever she wanted, and then she started trying to protect her mother. He was the only person holding down her law firm, Alias, or I should say her PI for her private investigative firm, Alias, down, and really doing good business. And we actually learned that Malcolm is actually a good investigator when he puts his mind to it, when he has the tools that's needed. He's actually a very good investigator, and I'm very curious at how they're going to handle him in season 3. Because the way that they're handling it, it looks like he's going to have a collision course with his former boss, Jessica, in season 3. Because for all y'all don't know, like I said, if you haven't seen it, watch it. This is a spoiler. He essentially quits. Even though she says she fires him, he actually quits because he's grown tired of the fact that she keeps firing him and then hiring him back and then firing him, which is understandable. You don't want to keep getting hired and fired. Yeah. Also, he was also being used. He was the dude that got used the most because Trish used him. And I wonder how that dynamic will work in season 3, because like I said, Trish was all on that inhaler because she ended up being on drugs and start doing different things that was not really cool She started hanging out with the wrong crowd, or I should say, crowd that was using her, because at the end of the day, she wanted power so bad that she was willing to risk her life for those powers. And Jessica was always trying to help her. Jessica was trying to help her, and she was trying to protect her mother. Her mother was like a rage monster because of the psychological aspect of getting her powers ended up making her rage uncontrollable. So when she would get angry, she had this sensational urge to kill. For example, spoiler alert, she ended up killing Jessica's boyfriend, who Jessica ended up being with for about, I want to say, 2-3 months. He was actually getting ready to pimp her out to this other group of people, to one of his boys or whatever, because at the end of the day, he was trying to protect himself. But she ended up killing him. She ended up attacking Trish and ended up wanting to kill Trish. And she actually fell in love with the doctor that turned her into the rage monster, which is actually ironic if you really think about it. But another best scene was the strained relationship that Trish and Jessica has, because, like I said, they were sister slash best friend. But when Trish ends up killing her mother, that puts a big strain on their relationship. I also want to see for season 3 what they're going to do with that relationship, how they're going to show the strain. And is the guy, I forgot his name, but his son's name is Vito, but I want to know how that relationship is going to go, because he ends up helping Jessica get like fake identities, and Jessica helped him get his son Vito back when his mother kidnapped him because she didn't approve of the relationship between him and Jessica. Like I said, for some reason I am drawing a blank on what his name was, but all in all, I will give Jessica Jones season 2 a 7 out of 10. It could have been a little better. It could have been more fighting scenes, because that's the one thing about Jessica Jones season 2 that it lacked the most. Fighting. It wasn't enough fighting. It wasn't enough Jessica just utilizing her powers or anything. It was just, like I said, more of an emotional roller coaster, because the main bad guy was her mother. So we'll see what they do in season 3 and what bad guy they're going to use, because at this point we need to see more punching and kicking out of Jessica. At this point, maybe she'll go by the superhero named Jewel or the Nitress. Maybe they'll start making her utilize those names, because those were one of her names, her superhero names. Maybe they'll have her flying, because Jessica can't fly, even though she don't do it too often. Maybe they won't. But that's it for this review. I hope you guys like it, and if you did, just hit the like button. And if you guys have not subscribed, there's a little bell at the bottom right hand corner. Hit that button to make sure you'll get all my updates, and hit the subscribe button. Peace out.